Maestro Gaming presents a wobbly wagon wheel production about a nomad man. That man is the Gypsy King. Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to another Maestro Game production, and as you can see from behind me, we are here at Le Canonniere Stadium for our first game of today's episode. Now, my hat being backwards isn't actually a fashion statement today, it is simply because it is very sunny and, well, it's messing with the green screen a little bit. So, without further ado, I'm going to head on into the stadium behind, and we shall get on with today's first game. Okay, ladies and gents, welcome. It is time to kick off our first game of today's episode, and there is no real changes to the team. Now, we have two people removed from the bench. Jubitana forced his way out of the club, out on loan. He wasn't getting the game time he liked. There's also Suli, I believe his name was, the backup striker. He also has been complaining about the same sort of issues, so I thought, you know what, I'll drop him ahead of time. If he don't want to be playing, well, he can go out and play elsewhere. So that means Forte comes onto the bench in that striking role, and Kyoto comes in on the midfield end. So our starting lineup, well, that's Gallon in goal, of course, Vucevic on the left hand side of defence, Corfries and Pieri in central defence, Schwavers, of course, on the right. Kubasic is in front of them. In front of Kubasic is Bismani and Belt in central midfield. Now, Azamani is on the left-hand side. Now, this guy, he has been nagging for a new contract. I told him he can get one, but he's going to have to wait till the end of the season when we leave. So, smart move on that one. Verif is then on our right-hand side, and Milcevic is up front on his own. So, our bench is Parade, Lopez, Hannah, Foulon, Quixote, Jimenez, and of course Forte. But let's go see what Dirk Gerard has to say. So Dirk, what do you have to say? We could move out the relegation zone with a win, so I would suggest encouraging the players. Now, I've remembered something that I forgot to change since the last game. Attacking mentality. Let's go positive. Attacking, I think, is a little bit too much. I can't remember where these are in the league, but they're definitely better than the team we just played. So, we could move out of the relegation zone. Again, because I don't remember. We owe them revenge. Passionate revenge. There we go. Passionate revenge always works, and considering I can't remember where in the league these guys are, that's probably a good one to go for. It's a nice, safe bet in that regard. So, okay, they're down here with us. They're 13th. If we can beat them, they'll be on 17 points. We'll go up to 16. So, yeah, they are in a part of the pack we are chasing. So, this is definitely a must-win game. Probably could have stuck to that attacking approach, although we are the away team. So, dropping back to a positive mentality, probably a little smarter. Now, it is with Mohamed. He plays it to Radcevic into the central midfield. Now with Sirani. Sirani cuts inside from this right-hand side. Tries ball over top. Schwavers heads it down for Verif, though. Back to Schwavers, and now Belt is in possession. Schwavers once more coming down this right-hand side. Now with Belt. Ball over the top to Milcevic. Milcevic crossfield ball to Bismani. Unfortunately intercepted. They are now on the counter-attack. Ball over the top to Ippolito, and Ippolito. We escaped that one, ladies and gents. Now, I'm probably going to be a little bit more lackluster in today's episode. It is absolutely roasting in this bedroom right now. So I apologise for that. But, well, there's no other time I can really record. This is the only real time to record because, well, I'm recording a day in advance. So, yeah. And just to make it worse, we've just gone and conceded. So, good. Good. I'm already feeling rough because of the weather, and now I have to deal with this. So, lads, show some passion. I don't appreciate us being a goal down 20 minutes into today's game. I don't appreciate it at all. And Bismani, get some fitness, my friend, because that is pathetic. So, we are going to demand more. Let's focus them up. We do have a nervous player in Asamani, but Asamani is probably playing his last game for the club, unless we get injuries to the people I'm bringing in. But we are unfortunately 1-0 down at half-time, and as you can see, it was against the play. They've had 2 shots, we've had 8. 1 on target to our 3, 1 foul to our 5. We need to deal with this discipline issue. 0 yellow cards apiece, 42% possession to our 58. Now, their best performer, of course, was Kalsic with that 8.2 rating and 100% passing completion ratio. He's also the goal scorer. I don't know how 100% passing completion ratio went above that, but that's the one they wanted to tell us. And Belt is our best performer. He's got a 90% passing completion ratio and a 6.9. Struggling to perform, though, is Serrani for them. 6.5, 0 crossing completion ratio. And Azamani, 0 crossing completion ratio and a 6.4 as a result. So let's head on into the dressing room. It was indeed. I'm going to be aggressive about it. Show me something else in the second half, lads. That was pathetic. I don't care that you're nervous. In fact, you're nervous? You should be. That's the last time we're probably ever going to see you in one of our shirts, and I couldn't care less. In fact, would you guys? Okay, that works. We get to see him out on that left-hand side. We don't have to move our amazing free kick taker to the side he's less comfortable on. We are, however, going to shift to very attacking. We're also going to say show some passion and let's fire everyone up, or at least most of them. Verif and Kyoto are not fired up, and Bizimani could do with going off. So Bizimani, I'm afraid Jimenez is going to come on in your place. You are a little bit tired. In fact, I'm going to risk it. Vucevic is also looking dead to the world, so he is going to go off, and that is our substitutions all used up. Again, we're going to tell them to show some passion. Hopefully we can get a highlight in this second half, because it's been a rather boring half so far. As you can see though, look at them statistics. 11 shots to 3. 3 on target to 1. Like, we are dominating them. We are just not doing anything. Come on, Core Fries. Do something with this possession now. Foulon. Foulon plays it over to Belt. Belt up to Kyoto. Kyoto now coming down this left-hand side. Will he get a lovely cross in? Crossfield ball to Belt. Gets it down to Kubasic. Kubasic over to Kyoto. Kyoto tries to cross it. It's blocked, but Foulon collects the ball on the edge of the area. Now with Jimenez. Jimenez to I can't even speak right now. Belt to Verif. Back to Belt. Lovely ball over to Suevas. He's got space. Plays it back to Verif. Oh, it's passed into Milcevic, who slides it in. And I think it's not going to be disallowed. No, it's not. Milcevic has got his 6th goal of the season, and it wasn't the cleanest of finishes, but we shall take it. It has saved our bacon, got us a point, and Milcevic has done a lovely job fighting to win that ball. Now, let's get attacking. We don't want to stay. I'm still going to demand more. We're going to stay attacking, try and steal this one, because, like I said, we have been the better team. We just went and let that early goal in, which was rather disappointing. Now we need to try and get a second. Come on, demand more. I want more out of you, lads. This is not good. Well, we aren't getting any more, but at least we didn't lose. So, Muskron 1, Westland Bavarian 1. And, well, they had 4 shots to our 16, 1 on target to our 6, 5 fouls to our 9, 0 yellow cards, 1 yellow card, 44% possession to our 56. Kalshak was the best performer with an 8.3 and 92% passing completion ratio in the end, as he was in the first half. Milcevic, though, was our best performer with that 1 goal and a 7.1 rating. For them, struggling to perform was Ippolito. He got a 6.4 and 1 overall chance. And Asamani with a 6.4 also and a 0% crossing completion ratio. As you can see, there was a couple of milestones in today's game, but the player of the match, of course, goes to Kowalski, and that is that. So, don't be too hard on them. It was a tough result to take. I mean, now, I'm sorry, Deck. I am sorry, but assertively, I'm disappointed. And the lads appreciate that. These are a good bunch of lads. We can tell them when they have been useless. And as you can see, we are 2 points behind Mechelen and 3 points now behind Zulte. But I think with a win, we go above Zulte if they lose. I'm pretty sure. Because like I said, I don't think it goes on goal difference. I'm pretty sure it goes on head-to-head. Do we have an opportunity to check one on here? Sorry, not head-to-head. Amount of wins relative to your actual points. But we will figure that one out if that becomes the case. For now, we shall head on home for our game against Cercle Bruges. And, well, Cercle Bruges are up in 6th. Now, we've done okay against teams up there. We did have that lovely performance against AA Ghent. So, hopefully, we can do the same in today's game against Bruges. But I'm going to head on back to our stadium. Hopefully, I'll have some new faces for you for the second game. And I will see you fine folks there in just a second. Okay, ladies and gents, before we get into our second game of today's episode, we do have a few transfers to go over. So the first one is actually a permanent signing. Now, he's not very good for right now. He is definitely a player for the future, but I thought I'd bring him in, help the club going forward. And, well, for 650k, this guy might be pretty good. So, he is Andre Vidigal. He is a Portuguese 24-year-old, has not had any caps at youth level nor the main team, but he's in on £950 per week. He's on a nice lengthy contract and he's only a fringe player, so he's not going to beg for time to play. Now, as you can see, 2.5 star, 3-star potential, but as you can see in that particular winger role, he's actually very solid. Nothing in those specific stats are actually below 11. So he is very solid in that regard. And well, if you look at his history, he hasn't been too bad also. So as you can see, he spent quite a lot of time in Portugal before he went to Holland. Now, he went to Fortuna Sittard on loan. And well, when he was in what I was assuming is the Holland's second division, he scored 10 goals in 29 games. And well, I guess that got him promoted, because they was in the top flight the next season, had 10 appearances and he scored twice. Now, that did get him sent out on loan to Apollo, where he got 1 goal in 9. He then returned after a little bit of a gap. I didn't realise he had 19, 20 and 2021 or 21-22 doing anything. So he's had a 3-year gap. I don't know what he was doing in those 3 years. Maybe I'll have to look into his actual history because, yeah. Anyways, he went disappearing for a 3-year spell before returning back to Fortuna Sittard. Maybe he got lost in Cyprus. Who knows? He may have just had a little jolly in Cyprus. But he had 2 goals in 6 appearances, 1 player in a match, and a 7.12 average rating on the back of that. And, well, we brought him in at 650k. Now, that is quite a bit of money for our club. But if you look at his value, he's actually valued at 750. So, not a bad little bit of business. Could have been better, could have been worse, but I do not mind that addition. He's yet another one for the future. As with Asamani. Asamani is a decent player. Not very good now, but he will work for the future. So they are pretty solid in that regard. They now have a left and right winger they can work with going forward. Now, as for now, we need some loanees to help us. And one of those is Yolson Fernandez. He is a solid winger, if I do say so myself. Again, no international caps, but he's a 19-year-old Portuguese player on loan from Ajax. Now, valued at 3.3 million, he is here on 2.6 grand per week. And, well, he's 4-star, potentially 5-star potential. And, well, again, he is very solid as an inverted winger. That is not what we're using him as, though. We are using him as a regular winger. And as you can see, again, his lowest stat for that is stamina at 11. Everything else is above a 12. A lot of 14s. Very well-rounded player as a winger. Now, what has he been doing? Well, he was at Sporting for the first 3 seasons of his career. He then went on a free transfer to Ajax after not playing. Played twice there, got a 5.9 rating. They did typical Ajax. If he's not performing in the first team, drop him to the Jong team. And well, he had 13 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist, 1 player of the match, and a 6.9 in that team. Now he is here on loan and trying to recover his career a little bit. So hopefully he's going to feel a little bit bad about his terrible performances considering his quality, and he can bring it to our team. Now, this one was a little bit expensive. As you can see here, we're paying him, we're paying the club 27.5 grand per month, and well, we're paying over the odds. He's 3-star potential, but I wanted a good player in who can sit on our bench, and he is exactly that. Now, advanced forward is what we're currently using. So, as you can see, he's at least 10 in all the stats required. Dribbling and passing, of course, are his weak areas, but he's pretty decent. Solid finishing with 13, technique is 13, work rate. There's a lot of 13s in there, mainly 11s, couple of 10s like I said, but he will do coming off the bench. Now, he's also got some international experience for Sweden's main team, 4 caps in fact, and 1 goal, as well as 1 under-21 cap. Now, his history, well, he's been around quite a bit, all over in Sweden. I'm not even going to try and pronounce some of these team names, but as you can see, he's been to quite a few different teams in his past 3 seasons, though he's been scoring a few goals. He had a season here where, back in 2017, scored 14 goals. Last year, he got 16 goals, 2 assists, 3 player of the matches, 7.27. Before that, 4 goals in 10, 1 player of the match, and a 7.21. And 6 goals in 18, and 2 player of the matches, and a 6.96 in the one before that. So his past 3 seasons have been solid, so he should be able to do a job for us if we need him to come on, either because our starter gets injured or simply because we want to freshen things up going forward. But that is our transfers, so let's get into the second game of today's episode. Okay, ladies and gents, as you can see, it is kickoff time for our second game of today's episode. And well, the only changes to the lineup, of course, Fernandes is coming in on that left-hand side of midfield, and Holmberg is coming on the bench. So without further ado, let's go talk to Dirk Gerard and see what he has to say. So Dirk, we could move out the relegation zone with a win, so I would suggest encouraging the players. I think assertively, you know what, no, passion. Passion is what's going to save us here. Get revenge. We want some revenge. Your team ranks considerably lower in the Pro League A possession form table, whilst Cercle Bruges are right up at the top. Are you prepared to suffer without the ball? Well, Leon Hermans of the Belgian football post, an experienced but friendly enough fellow who is indifferent about us. They can be beaten. Anyone can be beaten. I mean, it's technically true, but it's not the most positive way to respond to that. How useful is Schwaber's versatility? He's a Swiss Army now. So, Bizimani fit enough to last the full duration of the match? Probably not. For his 26-year-old, his fitness sucks. I've been told he's fit enough. We'll probably end up taking him off at half-time. How much of a boost is Fiol's absence? It's good, but they've got suitable replacements. I'm not going to be too happy about it. And as you can see, everyone in the stadium is social distancing, of course. I think that's more down to the fact we can't fill the stadium, but who knows? We shall use it as an excuse. Schwabers, though, to belt back to Schwabers once more. Also, I've noticed Schwabers is playing in 52. What a weird squad number to have. Anyways, Bizimana gets it over to Vucevic. Vucevic cuts inside on this left-hand side. Willie whipping across, whips it into Milcevic, and it's an early goal. Milcevic with his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Vucevic. And what a lovely goal that was. We are only 12 minutes into today's game, ladies and gents, and we have got off to a cracking start. Vucevic cutting inside, gets plenty of space. In fact, his cross goes through Vitino's legs. And, well, Milcevic with a nice header. As you'll see here, yet again, through his legs. nicely onside, and Milcevic just nods it past the goalkeeper. So let's try and hold on to this one, lads. That is a lovely start to the game. Now, who do these have as their opponents? Ooh, Muskron is playing KV. Now, we could do... it depends how ambitious we want to get. If we want to get right up, we want to be doing it based off them drawing. But at the current situation, just to get out of the relegation zone, we could do a Muskron winning that one. Muskron can win that, they can move up, leave them for dead, they drop down on 15 points. Bish bash bosh, real good. Nosh. Now, who is Zoltan Wargem? They are currently winning against Charlion. Now, they need to pick their game up. Because if both of those can manage to pick up victories, I believe we can jump to 14th. I believe. If I'm right on the whole, it does wins above goal difference. If it does goal difference first, then yeah, we're not getting above Wargem. But Vintino gets it to Castro. We've got to focus on our match first without thinking about all of that, because these are obviously a solid side, and well, a draw would be a good result in this game. But we are, of course, going to go for all 3 points. And, well, it's with Omionga. Gets it to Castro. Castro now to D-Man. D-Man gets it over to Vitino. Vitino, can he get across in? He's got plenty of space. And, oh, we just escaped. Karim had a free header on the back post. Lucky for us, though, he missed the goal completely. So, we have escaped. And, well, we are actually doing better on the statistics. Not only have we got a 1-goal lead going into half-time, it is 10 shots to their 3, 8 on target to their 2, 4 fouls to their 2, 1 yellow card, 0 yellow cards, 53% possession to 47. So much for them dominating possession, Anyways, the best performer for us has been Vucevic. He's got 1 assist and an 8 rating. For them is Hassan, their goalkeeper. He's got 4 saves held and a 6.7. Now struggling to perform is Fernandez. He's got a 6.5. And Hadji for them with 3 mistakes and a 6.4. Now, as you can see, them 2 games are not going our way at all. We could do with one of those at least turning around. But we can move out of the road. You know what? We are playing well against a team that, you know, passionately. Things are going well, but I know you care for better. Because there is a couple of players in there who are struggling a little bit. So, you're doing well. You can do better, though. I believe in you, lads. We can win this game. Now, go and get a second. Prove me right. Get us a second. Put this one beyond doubt. And let's get out of here. Now, Bizamani has started being a bit nervous. So, you know what, Bizamani? You get off the pitch, my friend. I love you, but you can't be getting nervous in a game like this. We can't be having that. Especially when your condition has dropped quite a bit. Now, Verif, unfortunately, his condition is a bit rough, but I can't really risk taking him off. Now, Fernandez. Do we take him off? Holmberg, I really want to give him a chance to have a run out, but Milcevic's having a good game, so... In fact, Holmberg, how are you on that wing? I bring you on as an inside forward, for instance. He is actually really solid as an inside forward. So, you know what? We'll bring Holmberg on the left-hand side. He can go to inside forward on support. And that shall be our substitutes going forward for today's game. And Muskron has dropped down the table, as you can see. So, oh, great. That hasn't really gone according to plan, has it? At this rate, we're going to win, but still be stuck behind this lot because they've all decided to shuffle around. Great. Just marvellous. Absolutely marvellous, ladies and gents. Absolutely marvellous. Now, just to add to it, their manager has gone and got them all fired up. And I'm nervous for the remaining 5 minutes plus additional time because our throwing has just been straight up intercepted and they're hoofing it over the top. Pieri, though, has saved us, got it to Jimenez, who gets it to Belt. Now with Verif, he has an overlap in Schwavers. Schwavers coming down this right-hand side. He's making a lovely run. Will he cut back? Ooh, he almost gave it away. And it's a goal for Holmberg. On the volley, on his debut, first goal of the season, assisted by Schwavers. It is, of course, Kalle Holmberg, the Swedish international. And, well, he looks good in yellow and blue. I guess it is because he's a Swede. And what a lovely finish that was. So, thank you, my friend. I had faith. I'm paying your club good money for you to come and do this, and I really appreciate the effort you have gone and put in. And that's a victory here, ladies and gents. Unfortunately, though, we can't get out of the relegation zone on this because of the other teams and their results shuffling them about, and thus keeping us 2 points behind. But we're making forward progress. Gotta stay positive. We can still get out of this mess. It just means more teams for us to jump over when we do eventually get out of the relegation zone. But it is 2-0 in today's game. We had 18 shots in the end to their 3, 12 on target to their 2, 6 fouls to 6 fouls, 1 yellow card to 2 yellow cards, 54% possession to their 46. Now, the best performer was Vucevic, 1 assist and an 8.7. For them was Hassan, the goalkeeper, 6 saves held and a 6.8. Now, struggling to perform was Fernandez. He didn't quite have the debut that Holmberg did, but we can't all be Holmberg now, can we? Vittino struggled for them. He had 1 mistake that led to a goal and a 6.3. As you can see, Holmberg made his debut. Holmberg got his first career goal for us. And, well, it was a solid bunch of milestones there. Of course, player of the match goes to Vucevic for his lovely performance. And, well, he wants us to tell us, yeah, you know what? Passionately, I'm happy with that, lads. That is the sort of effort you need if you're going to stay up in the league. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to probably reward them now by allowing them to have a few days rest before the next game, because these past couple I've not, and they've all been absolutely shattered. So that is it for today's episode. Hopefully we can pick something up in tomorrow's, where we start off against the next episode. I have a really bad habit of saying that. In the next episode, I hope we can pick things up against KV Kortrijk in our first game, and then our second one is against KRC Genk, who was second. So it's going to be a rough one, and that second one is even away, just to make it that little bit more difficult. But I thank you all for watching today's episode. I hope you all have a lovely night, and goodbye.